You're watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Another race here in the AOLL Sportsman series up here at Speedway alongside Carl Henderson. Man, Carl, how you doing?
Good, man. It's good to be back. This is my first race back since missed the past couple weeks, and I think it's the first race since CODA now that I've been here, so I'm really excited to cover this.
Sorry, just trying to get some on. There we go. Technical difficulties here tonight. My desktop computer is not working very well, so actually it's not working at all. So I had to switch over my laptop. 1-2 just to get this race up here tonight, so that way we can make the call.
Yeah. So, one thing that's going to be interesting tonight is the fact that we have a closed circuit racing not really being represented very much. We've got Nick Adams on, I believe. But no Josh Laston, no Chris Oliver, Hanner, no Piscini. So a little bit different, especially when you consider that Piscini's won 2 of the last 4 races, I think. So. It's gonna be a different thing not seeing him out there tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at the Discord, you don't see many guys in Discord right now. But also looking at Discord, or not looking at Discord, but looking here in SDK, I see a lot of drivers. I mean, I think we're upwards of 25 drivers tonight.
Yeah, it's a good turnout tonight, and we have a lot of guys out here who have a real shot at winning tonight, I think. Of course, currently we have Blake Gordon and Justin Anderson sitting up, which is really no surprise there. But Andrew Burgess has been running really well. Joe Dinsmore right there. Greg Wellen here. Brandon Bowden. There's a lot of guys I'm familiar with seeing up there, and went around there. But I'm looking at guys like Sean Carmody, who is currently sitting 20th, running his second lap. But, this is a guy who has consistently gotten up to the front in the truck series. He may not stay there the entire time, but he's able to move through traffic really well. And I just see Gary Winters just got up to the 5th position. Gary's been looking really strong in the trucks recently as well.
Yeah, I definitely think you still have some pretty good competitors out there. It'll be interesting to see how these guys do here tonight, especially, as you said, you got some of the guys, whether it be Chris Piscini, who's won a couple here in the truck races, or I can't even think. My brain's fried today, man.
One thing I want to talk about here is something I think is going to be very interesting tonight is pit strategy, because we are looking at roughly 29 to 34 laps on a fuel run here. And it's a 100-lap race. Now, anybody watching through a math wizard, you might realize, hey, you might be able to do that in 2 pit stops. And you're correct. If we stay green flag the entire time, which based on what I've seen in practice and qualifying, I don't think we will. But it's really going to be interesting to see, like, when you time your pit stops, when you go in, when you choose to stay out, to determine how how many pit stops you're going to have to take, and where you're going to end up in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, man. Still just adjusting stuff right now.
Sorry. I honestly don't know if I should leave a gap for you to talk because I don't know if you're done yet. So
No, you're good, man. You're good. I just got a couple more things adjusted here, and I think I'm going to be all right.
Well, how about I run through the grid real quick? I'll go ahead and just start from the top here. Starting on the pole, in first, we have Blake Gordon. In second, we have Justin Anderson. In third is Andrew Burgess. Fourth, Joe Dinsmore. Fifth, Gary Winters. Sixth, Greg Wellen. Seventh, Brandon Bernhardt. Eighth, William Klingbeil. Ninth, Brian Tiffany. 10th, Brian McFerrin. 11th, Ross Gage. 12th, Randy Pepper. 13th, Ed Springer. 14th, Timothy St. Jean. 15th, Blake Seedy. 16th, John Gordon. 17th, Sean Carmody. 18th, Steve Dominy. 19th, Derek Schilling. 20th, Nick Adams. 21st, Kevin Haas. 22nd, Tom Stevens. 23rd, Mike Burgess. 24th, Kevin Moeller. And rounding out the field in 25th is David DeParis.
Well, I'd say that was pretty good, man.
Yeah, it was a lot. That's the first time I've done the entire field.
I'm not going to lie. I've got to the point where I was like, okay, well, I can help out. And you kept going, so I wasn't going to interrupt you, man. You're doing good there.
Well, I was trying to give you time there. I actually just noticed that you have different paint schemes on yours than I do on mine. So that's weird.
That could be a couple different things. So that could actually be a setting in iRacing. So if you don't do the, and I would have to look, but it's in the graphics. And if there's a specific setting that if you don't have it set, it won't run the custom numbers.
Right. Or do you have that set?
Probably not, because as we stated, my game downloaded literally 5 minutes before
I gotcha.
This race started. And as I said, Nick just said turn on custom numbers. Again, Nick, being specific, I just got the game downloaded onto my laptop. So we'll turn on custom numbers for you guys. Do here and how much there is to do.
Hide car numbers in the bottom right there. Yep, that should do it.
Everybody's face for the entire race, huh?
Oh boy. Well, it looks like someone was at the top there. Yeah, I think they're starting to load in.
Ooh, what a night. As you see, Blake Gordon, he still hasn't popped in, so that'll be interesting.
I'll monitor on my screen. These cars pulling off here.
Yep, and here we go. We got green flag racing. Blake Gordon's going to lead him to the green flag. Turn one here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway short track. So he and Justin Anderson go side by side into turn one.
Caution is out.
Already?
Yeah, they had issues on the restart.
On the start?
Yeah, that's right. That's the start. Oh, yeah, it looks like someone spun their tires and stacked the field.
Here we go.
Frank's going to go further ahead, like further up the field. I do see a little bit from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Try.
15 there. Let's back it up some. Let's just give it a
Yeah, maybe take a look at the blimp view as well. I think that might.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, this should give you a good.
And you know what I think it was there? I think it may have been the 83 of William Klingbeil, and it's not that he checked up. Well, no, it is that he checked up. But I believe it may be this gap.
Yep, it was a
caused
huge
that.
gap. He got going and then checked up when he got to the car in front of him. I think it's a 54, or maybe 94 or 94, I think.
Yeah, right there. You see the gap between he and the 94, and he accelerates right there, trying to time it, and then checks up, and that stacks up the field, and they just run right into.
That's why everyone always says the AOLL say it all the time. Tighten up those gaps. You can't leave big gaps like that because that's what causes the accordion effect throughout the field.
Well, what that allowed though is that allowed us to get a new leader already, Justin Anderson.
Yeah, I mean that's not terribly surprising with the timing of the caution. I mean, the caution came out right at exits. Where that outside line is going to have an advantage. So I'm not surprised at all by that. We'll see if he'll be able to hold that position.
I believe the 82 there might have just blown his own engine there.
Same the 82, huh?
He's headed down pit road. I did hear an explosion in my ear.
Oh.
I don't know if that came over, but that was a pretty loud one. Hey, real quick, are you seeing Blake Gordon's car the way I'm seeing it, in that black and like a neon yellow?
Let me take a look here. That is it. Yep.
You know what? I take that back. I think we're good. It was good as we're gonna get.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. This is now set up on your laptop. You'll never be able to go on vacation again. We're expecting to broadcast from hotel rooms and all of that.
False. False. Internet at the hotels are terrible. We will not be doing that.
We'll buy you like one of the hotspots, mobile hotspot.
I will take that out. On the other hand, I will take that.
So yeah, I'm trying to look here see if we have any position gain. Somehow Tom Stevens gained 8 positions. I'm going to guess he got around the guys there. But not that many pitted, so he must have made some nifty moves there to get through that wreck and sub up.
Yes.
Kevin Moeller's up 6 spots. For the most part, the field didn't change much because we didn't even complete a half lap. So I believe the pace car will be coming in this time. Going to read this. We'll have Justin Anderson and Blake Gordon on our front row, followed by Andy Burgess and Joe Denton in a second. See if Blake will be able to recapture that first position. And as we've mentioned here before, once the pace car, any subsequent restart after the first one, once the pace car pulls off, then the clears will go, and they are off. Justin had a great start there. But Blake isn't giving up here. Blake is right there.
Let's go over the back of Justin Anderson right now as they're coming down this backstretch. You see cars starting to get a little bit there in line. Blake already got a little bit at the bottom. He's going to try to get up underneath Justin Anderson as they're coming through turn 4 here. Can he get the run? He won't. He'll get back in line behind the 73. They come across the first green lap of the night, and it was like this.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks that can be very difficult to pass at. It's kind of your fairly typical one group track. You can watch thing, but if you've got a guy in front of you running a perfect line, it's going to be very difficult to get around.
Well, and on that lap, Blake Gordon was actually the fastest on the track with a 31.28. And they come in this lap and continue to be a little bit faster than Justin Anderson. Once again, he's looking at that low line and trying to get around him.
Yeah, he's chipping away a little bit each time. I mean, that outside line's able to hang corner exit, but it's going to be. Oh, they make contact.
Yeah.
Justin got into the wall there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact there. That put Justin Anderson up into the wall. That's going to allow Blake Gordon to get around him. And as now, Burgess at 77, he's going to
that bump. I mean, that looked like it was a racing deal to me. I mean, Blake didn't come up or anything. I think Justin maybe just expected him to be a little bit lower. I mean, his back end may have picked around a little bit on corner entry, and that's what caused the contact, but it's pretty clean to me overall.
And right now, it's pretty, I would say pretty spread out. I don't want to say spread out.
Yeah. He's got some damage on the back of that truck. I don't know if that was from the initial start or not.
Yeah, I think that those are from the initial start guys. Brian McFerrin was actually making the possibility to get around Lost Gate, and he opened up a little bit of gap here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is a bit of a weird track because it's not an intermediate track. I mean, it's not a mile and a half or like Savannah. So aerodynamics are hard to matter too much in a lot of places, but it's still bigger than a short track. It's a little over a mile. And you get this long straightaway. So if you've got damage, it could definitely affect the handling of trucks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's more like you said, as far as aero goes here, that's not too big of a deal. And a little bit of damage could affect the handling, which is a bigger issue than aero.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, again, I wouldn't rule out aero. I mean, you get up the straightaway. I mean, straightaways are long here. And you can get up a decent amount of speed. So yeah, I think, you know, if those guys are aware of it, I hope they're aware of it.
Right now, there was a fight here for second place. Andrew Burgess, once again, going to the inside line here. He's side by side with the 73 Justin Anderson. He'll come out of turn down that back stretch. Justin Anderson getting these great runs in that higher line. If they stay side by side, Andrew Burgess might be able to complete it. He will. He'll complete it. Oh, no. For the 73.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Justin I expected Blake to subsequent contact at all, but he definitely looks a good bit slower right now than the start of the race. But to be honest, like I'm looking at
contact there.
Yeah, I'm looking at lap times. I mean, nobody on the field had put down a lap as fast as Blake has right now. Blake is the only person in the field to put down a sub 31-second lap. Oh,
more contact.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where it's just because the racing course is so small, the only way to pass here is to look directly next to someone. You know, there can't be any gap at all, and you're gonna have contact with that kind of racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, 15 laps complete here. And there's been a little bit of issues. Obviously, a quick yellow there at the start, but so far here, it's been decent racing, a little bumping, a little banging, but it's a lot what you expect in a short track.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm a little surprised by how clean it has been so far. Outside of that one incident, which really wasn't due to start shenanigans. You know, this has been very clean. It's good to see it. I'm hoping it stays clean because I think this pit strategy could be really fun to see if we can make it up to the top. They should be able to, but some people, depending on how they drive, may have to curve a little bit.
And there goes Joe Dinsmore now. He's looking on the inside of Justin Anderson. He's working to try to get up here to second. He'll clear him here in turn one, going into turn two. And as they come out of turn two, now Joe Dinsmore will try to set his sights here on Blake Gordon, your current leader.
Well, you know, this is what I've been expecting to see over the Cup Series. You know, apparently Joe had some issues with the pedal, got that fixed, and he looked strong in the Cup Series on Sunday night before adding an unfortunate road speeding penalty. But looks strong here tonight as well. It's really starting to see Joe kind of return to previous season and racing really well. And you know, looking at lap times right now, I mean, let's see what this lap time score at 1:55. But right now, slower than looks like just finished his. So yeah, he's actually still slower than Blake, even in clean air. Blake's got a big gap, and he's getting bigger right now.
Yeah, Justin Anderson, he continues to fall here. He's got the 77. Andrew Burgess all over him again. Just behind him, Gary Winters from 66. He's still up in this fight, as now Andrew Burgess again on the inside, and Gary Winters following around Andrew Burgess.
Yeah, I have to feel. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from these guys. Andrew, Gary, both very good racers, but I have to feel there's something for him with Justin's truck, because he typically doesn't all pack like this in a race. So either there's some damage, or I mean, I potentially have done this before where I'm looking at something and it kind of gets in my own head and thinks something's off. The entire time it's fine. I don't think that's happened to Justin. He's a much more experienced driver. Definitely falling back.
Yep. Get a short hiccup there with the internet. And then meanwhile, Burt has lost another spot. Joe Dinsmore, he's working around here. Blake Gordon continues to set sail right now. The gap is almost 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm still looking at lap times here. This last lap, let's go across. Yeah, I mean, they had almost identical lap times. Blake's still air faster, he's pulling away just ever so slightly lap. But we talked about it before, in the past, Joe has been better at conserving tires than Blake has. If Joe was able to conserve tires and still run nearly equal time to Blake, then Blake might be in trouble tonight. As we're, based on my calculations, the next 10 laps or so, we're going to be having to cut. Maybe next 12 laps that we have.
Well, and I am intrigued by that, right? So, this theory of Joe's generally better on the long runs than Blake. One thing Blake has said that he's worked on his long runs to gain that speed. Now he's had some where he comes out and he gets this blistering pace and he runs up his tires, but generally, as of late, he's been chasing somebody. And that's when he's been causing his issues. Now he's up front by himself. Is he really wasting his tires right now? Is he got the exact same lap time?
Yeah, I look, I don't think that he is. And I think he's pretty much getting better. I've seen it on track. I've seen him improving in the first race of the season. Better long run speed. But at the same time, we also, if Joe was having equipment issues, we haven't really seen Joe be able to compete with Blake at this level. And I know that Joe's good at this because he always seems to come up late long run. So, yeah, I think this could be a real test for Blake here. But having a nearly 5 second gap, that's a pretty good injury.
We got some battles taking up there. This is all for third. Back, 73, and Justin Anderson.
Oh, Randy Pepper just went around. Caution is out. I don't know what happened to Randy there. Blake was passing him.
Oh, he's upside down.
There wasn't any contact though. At least not from my end. I was watching on the blimp view, and
no, I believe he maybe just got scared.
Yeah, he might have just been trying to give Blake plenty of room in order to the leader, and that sucks.
Well, and I'll tell you right now, Randy Pepper's favorite thing is Russian judges. The Russian judges there will give that a 7.3 for Landry.
So here's where, okay, this actually makes fuel strategy very interesting, because I imagine this is the guy's pit, unless my fuel calculation is way up. So they pit here, and
it looks like he's about to pit.
I think he is. So if they pit here, then they could, with fuel conservation, they might be able to make it on just one more stop. But it would be tough from here. But I'm going to be really interested to see, potentially after, these guys pit, to see if maybe someone that's like, near the back of the field might come back in just for a splash of fuel.
Blake blew his pit.
I've seen Blake do that once, I think. That is very unusual.
Well, hey, while we're under caution real quick, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break.
Hi, I'm Randy from the Guitar Attic. Can we be serious for a second? Are you tired of being a loser? Can't do anything right? Feel like everyone's coming down on you all the time? Well, there's a way out, and I'm gonna show you. Hey Mom, look what I learned. That's right, pick up a guitar, learn how to play guitar. Automatically you're gonna become a chick magnet. The ladies are gonna love you. Your kids are gonna think you're cool. So what you need to do is come down here to the Guitar Attic, 16725 Ridgewood Avenue in Daytona Beach, Florida, or go on guitarattic.com and buy yourself a guitar and automatically be the star of your neighborhood. That's guitarattic.com.
And we're back in, as we said earlier, it's been interesting to say the least at the amount of issues I've had so far.
Well, that's what happens when you're scrambling to get everything set up right before they're ready.
And you know what the funny thing is, and I'm almost going to bed right now. I believe that there's actually a line in the screen at the very bottom. Yeah,
it looks like there is.
Yeah.
It's a cinematic experience, letterbox. So.
Yeah.
So
have to get fixed before tomorrow night.
Yep. So on that pit cycle there, we saw not a lot change. Justin Anderson did move back into second ahead of Joe Dinsmore, but our leader Blake Gordon still, despite the fact that he overshot his pit stall, was able to back it up and retake the lead, or retain the lead, I should say. And look at 7th place right now. I called this Sean Carmody right now up 10 spots, running 7. I would not count him out. This is a guy who put together a good race long stuff.
And that right there should have fixed it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Hey, look, solving little issues. Well, the good news is once all this is set up, once my desktop gets back and up operational, if I do have issues with it again, I can just swap the laptop rather quickly. That's the good news.
You should look at the Nick Adams crash.
Where you at?
In the event stream, it should say Nick Adams crashed. It was a little bit further back. Sorry. I hate doing this to him, but it was pretty funny.
Was it before Rangers?
No, it was after. So maybe your event log missed something. I was going to recount it. Nick was warming up his tires and spun out.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
No.
At least we couldn't get it on camera. It's all right. Also, at least he didn't hit. At least he didn't hit a teammate like I usually did. So. Well, don't worry. I'll save the replay. And,
save the replay. I wish you would have. You wish you could control my stuff again, so that way you could. That'd have been fantastic. Hey, pace car is off. We're going back green flag racing here at lap 31. Now 32 of 103. As Blake Gordon gets a great seeing him do on these restarts as they head into turn 1. Opens up about a 1 car length gap here on the 73 of Justin Anderson. Whatever was causing his issues was fixed, and now we're going to see how he was see him back to how he was before that injury response.
Yeah, this is where we're going to find out if it was damage to his car causing it. So it looks like, yeah, it's just paint scheme. It looks like he had a little bit of damage inside there. But we're going to find out if it was damage that was causing issues or just that there were other guys behind him that were faster. You see right here, Joe staying right with it. But we have to talk about the fact that Blake Gordon is just once again pulling out the lead. Just, you know, didn't seem like tire wear was much of an issue for him last up. You know, we were approaching the end of a tire wear. Almost tagged the ball there a little bit, but I mean, Blake's crazy fast tonight. I'm not gonna say that this might be his race to lose because there's still a whole lot of racing to go, and there's also strategy to the way that it's done, I think. But Blake's looking strong right now.
And he just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 37.3 on that last lap. So we're taking a look here at a battle. This battle.
Oh, caution is out. Caution is out.
You see it anywhere?
I'm looking. I see some off-track events. Oh, yep. Looks like what car is that? Whoever was in front of Randy Pepper doing St. Jean.
Yeah, Tim St. Jean bounces off the wall, deflects the 12th Randy.
We lost your cars there for a second.
So they disappeared. That was not me on that one. I'd like to point out that was not me on that one. Hey, Laura Ross sitting out there. She said kick ass, number 77 Burgess. Andrew having a great night here tonight.
Yeah, he's been look. He's consistently strong. I mean, I see him running the top 5, you know, very consistently. But he's not a guy we talk about a lot. But man, he's looking good tonight. I mean, I haven't even talked again. I'm saying we haven't talked about him a lot. I haven't talked about him a lot tonight. But this is a guy right here. I'm looking at lap times right now. Not terribly far off of our leader. Actually, a little bit faster than Joe Denforth's fastest lap. So. Yeah, he could be a factor in this race.
And been running really strong all night. We've seen him, and it makes you wonder at that higher line because he has been quick. If that lower line is just causing him not being able to make these passes on these guys, we've seen him fighting with Justin Anderson for the longest time there on that first green flag stint.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just saw, you know, obviously the guys that were in that incident pitted. There were a few other guys that pitted with them. And I think that's, you know, guys that may have been running mid-pack or further back that are going to try to make this a one more stop in this race because they should be good at this point. The do it warms. Doing math, crunching numbers here. Yeah, I mean they should be able to do it one more stop around 68 or so. Should get them to the end. But that, you know, of course, the cautions come out, things change. So, we'll see how it plays out.
Well, I think, I'll put it this way, I think Mike Tyson always said it best. There will be a game plan until they get punched in the face. These cautions are like a punch in the face, right? It makes you second guess what your rivals or your other racers are doing compared to what you're doing. And that kind of changes up your game plan.
Well, you know, there have been so many times in the TNT series or even the series where I would, you know, find out how long a fuel run was, figure out how many laps, and start calculating when I'm going to take my stops. But, you know, the moment a caution happens, that's just thrown right out the door.
Yeah, and it normally will. Like I said, it's definitely a curveball into game plans, but as we see the leaders stayed out, I think a lot of these guys, they're good enough to do their own math, do their own little punching, and as far as any kind of undercut on this leader, I think it's going to take strategy here, and none of them felt like that pit stop right there would have been worth losing the positions.
Yeah, I don't think that for our leaders it would have made sense at all. But I'm just looking at, you know, the guys in the mid-pack further, they didn't have much to lose, which is why I think it's probably came in. But you know, these guys up front are going to have a hard time doing it on one more stop. They might be able to pull it off. These caution laps, that'll certainly help. but it'll be tight. Caution laps might push it over the edge. If we have 4 more cautions, it should be good.
And the pace car lights are back on. These guys are lining up side by side, getting ready to go back green flag racing. Right now, lap 38 of 100. And pace car is on. Blake will leave him, and Blake gets another solid jump as they head down that front stretch. He's going to open up about a car and a half, almost 2 car lengths there on Justin Anderson. So he got a massive jump on Justin Anderson right there.
Yeah, it looked like Justin was going to hang with him a little bit. Then started falling back. I don't know if it was a bad shift or. Oh, they're wrecking.
They are wrecking.
No caution yet.
Brian Tiffany slammed that inside wall, but it does have him show him come back up on the track, so the no caution thing looks like it's going to stay.
Yep, that's, let's wait and see. I'm racing here. Bring up talk about it, the caution.
Well, it's great to see for us and the guys on the track. Horrible for Brian Tiffany. That's going to hurt his race severely.
Oh yeah, well I mean, ideally he got caught up in that right there. He needs to be on the track, so. But I'll take what I can get to see flag racing here. It's a lot more enjoyable call.
Yeah, right now, Blake Gordon, he's got about over half a second gap between me and Justin Anderson. But Joe Dinsmore and Andrew Burgess are really starting to put a little bit of pressure here on Justin Anderson.
Yeah, I think Justin, unless he figures something out, which look, I mean, that's happened to me a lot before, where we're just going to mid-race and so we get a lot faster. But unless Justin figures something out, he is not he is slower than at least 2 guys behind him, and doesn't seem to be faster than Blake either. So hopefully he's going to figure something out and really throw leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see Justin Anderson, he is able to open up a little bit of a gap now on Joe Dinsmore. And he is looking at times, so they're not too far off.
Yeah, Sean, I race with Sean every week. Dude is crazy fast, and what I find most impressive about Sean for me is how good he is at racing. He has some of the fewest incident points. He has the fewest TNT for both seasons that he's been in. He is just remarkably clean. Stays out of trouble, and that's why he's well in TNT, and I'm expecting to see him do well here in the Sportsman series as well.
And if you guys continuing on, you see they're about single file and throughout the battle is speeding up here, but it is showing that it's catching and it's fighting up Gary Williams and Greg Welland.
You know, I've always wanted to be. I would love one day to sit in on the Endeavor team chat because having raced with all of these guys, I know how competitive they are, and I would really just love being a fly on the wall here with team chats like when you know, you get 2 guys that are racing side by side like this, you know, trying to gain position.
Absolutely, and right now with it not even halfway through this race, 446 of 100. There you go, 40 able to make the pass as he will clear his teammate Brandon Bernhardt as the 66 of Gary Winters looks to follow suit, but he does not follow the suit. He's been out of battle. But his teammate's Greg Welland, he's got a battle on Gary Winters. Strike that reverse that apparently that Gary Winters had his hands full of Greg Welland who made the pass.
Yeah, you know, yeah, he's struggling a little bit tonight. Yeah, Gary's someone, racing for a while in TNT, very fast guy, but I'm not familiar with Greg well, and I haven't been racing them much at all, if I have at all, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, Greg's looking good tonight, but Sean Carmody currently got his sights set on Andy Burgess now, running faster lap times. He's gaining on it.
And they're both right now, they're both catching Brandon Blunt right now. He set the pace out there. He's trying to work his way up in this top.
Yeah, and I honestly think he might be able to do it if he can stay out of trouble, which, as I mentioned before, he's very good at. He's very fast in short runs. My experience with him, so I think we'll have to see how he does on a longer run here. Hey, why don't you cut back to Blake Zeedy? Taking a look at a battle here. It was actually 3 cars, but now it's just 2 cars side by side. Good bit of battling going on in this little pack right here. They've been going fourth, and that is that Blake Zeedy and Ed Springer right there. Duking it out.
Yeah, it's definitely heating up right now between Blake Zeedy and Ed Springer.
Yeah, the 2 of them, and Blake passed there. I think Blake's been a little bit faster the past few laps. Looking at last lap times, yeah, he's pretty fast. Some guys around him. Actually that lap was a little bit slower, but he was trying to pass him. So,
our leader right now, Blake Gordon, he's right now got a 2.5 second gap between he and Justin Anderson, as we are just over halfway through the race.
Yeah, so the big number for me, if we stay green flag, we are probably looking at them needing to make it to, math here real quick, gotta bring up the calculator, probably about, we'll say lap 68 or so, without pitting, if we stay green flag, and might be able to stretch it to 70 because of the caution that happened earlier. So if they can make it to that point, that should be the only stop they need, assuming we don't have protection.
And we got the battle heating up right now for second is Joe Dinsmore.
We got contact further back to the field, but they somehow kept it together. Sorry about that. I really thought I was caution. That was Blake Zeedy and Ross Gage. Both of them were sideways.
And they are still side by side right now. Real quick, hey Tim, we just want to check. First off, thanks for the shout out from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Does everybody sound clear now?
Oh, did not realize that either of us sounded bad.
Well, no, he said that one of us was a little low. I believe it may have been me. I was trying to actually listen to the broadcast as well as listen to both of us talk. This is kind of one of them things that, again, when settings completely change, when you switch computers and OBS and everything like that, it definitely becomes a fight, right?
Hey, it looks like Ross Gage has gone around. Caution's out.
And here we go. It's the 72 on the inside of Ross Gage. And he's going to make contact there with Ross Gage. And it does send him around, and it collects a lot of cars there. A lot of cars tapping off Ross Gage.
Yep, that was the 72 of Kevin Moeller. Just trying to make the pass there, and trying to... I think that might have been on Kevin there. Probably should have gotten a little bit lower, but tough break for Ross Gage there.
And knowing Ross, I'm sure that he is not very happy right now.
Well, it depends on if he has pudding or not.
Probably, even if he has pudding, he's probably not very happy right now. And hey, here we go. The leaders are coming back down pit row. This, I believe, should get them the rest of the way.
I don't think so. I don't believe it will. I'm crunching the numbers here. If we have another caution, maybe, but based on what I was looking at in PRS, they weren't able to stretch it 34 laps in their green flag conditions. Again, cautions to stretch that out, but that's, I mean, we'd have to make it 44 laps at this point. That's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Blake Gordon's going to win that pit race off the pit road. Mike, hey, I got your message, man. How does that sound? I try turning down the mic just a little bit. You guys can walk me into that perfect sound. I'd be much appreciated.
We'll just go back and forth with it until...
that's literally what I'm going to do until it is sounding equal to yours. Equal, okay? We're trying to go equal, and obviously a good sound with the cars. Hey, and I got a perfect from Mike, so that's what I'm talking about. That's a pretty good guess.
Now I'm going to guess that Tim's probably going to come back and say that you're too low, so maybe we'll just have to choose one of them.
I mean, it would be kind of entertaining. But, hey, we're under caution again. We're going to take a quick break once again. Please excuse how this commercial is going to start out looking, because I'm going to have to readjust stuff again. But just understand that. Be patient with me. Tomorrow night should be a lot more smoothly.
The AOLL Racing League began racing in the early 90s with Papyrus's NASCAR Racing and has grown over the decades, now racing on the iRacing platform. The AOLL has 3 divisions: the TNT Series Developmental Division for our beginners and those getting back into racing, the Cup Series for our veterans and Class A licensed drivers, the Sportsman Division racing the Gander outdoor trucks with drivers from the TNT and Cup Series. You can catch all of the AOLL action here on Ghostfire Media.
All right, and we're back now, as that one seemed to work a lot better. That made me happy. How well no, I take that back. It was all jacked up at the beginning, but again, I think we're good now. So, hey, join us tomorrow night, TNT series. It'll be myself and, myself. I'm going to lose my broadcast partner in Randy Pepper. I did put a call into a special guest broadcaster. I hope he does join me. So, hey, join us and find out, see if he makes it. I'm going to tap him again tomorrow to see if he makes it. Obviously with work and stuff, I can't guarantee that, but...
Well, you said him, so I'm assuming it's not Danica Patrick.
If only. If only.
But man, now I'm curious. You're going to have to tell me next commercial break what it's going to be.
I can't do that. You're going to have to watch the broadcast just like everybody else.
That hurts.
I thought I did tell you.
No, I don't think you did.
Oh, shame on me. Hey, pace car's back off, and we're about to go green flag racing. And Blake Gordon with another great jump. He's going to jump out there on the rest of the field. He has just been masterful with these restarts.
I mean, generally is. I mean, to be fair, it's pretty easy to get a big jump when leader control restarts. But Blake's one of the best at it. I mean, he consistently gets a good gap over second place whenever he's the control car.
Right now we're at 60 laps complete of 100 here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Caution's out. Oh, there's a lot of guys. Nick Adams is in it. Is that Tom Stevens is in it? Yeah, there's David DeParis, Kevin Moeller. Bad wreck there.
Getting these people jumping into the pits. There it is. And yeah, Nick Adams coming out while the 9 came down. Made contact there. We got a little latency issues.
Well, that seemed to be on Nick that time. So he came up there. But it's an easy mistake to make. Especially with these setups are generally going to be a little bit on the tighter side. Although I think that was on corner exit, so I wouldn't expect a tightness there. But yeah, that's an unusual place to come up like that. But,
well, I don't know. I mean, that could have been. excuse me, multiple things there. I mean, it looked like the 9 was coming down, coming out of the corner, which is a little odd. And then, of course, we had Nick coming up. So
I'm rewatching it. The 9 did come down a little bit, but it was not a ton. 9 car came down maybe a half a car length. Nick came up the rest, but again, those kind of things happen. Your car, there's one or two things happen here. Either Nick's car got a little tight, wanted to ride up the track, or he expected Tom to do something different than what. But being that Nick was in a situation where he was trying to make a pass, that is his responsibility to make that pass cleanly. So, really unfortunate that had to happen there. But we'll hopefully get them back in, get some repairs, get them all back up on the track.
yeah, absolutely, 100% agree with that. I mean, I don't think we've stated that enough. I take that back. I think we say it all the time. When you are the car behind, it is on you to make that clean pass.
Yeah, and to some degree, there is an expectation that the car that you are passing is at least going to hold their line. Like, it's not like the car in front can just suddenly do whatever they want. They have to maintain a racing line. But that being said, I mean, yeah, like I said, Tom came down a little bit. So if I were assigning fault in that incident, I might say it was 10 to 20% Tom's fault. I'll let the admins decide if they're going to review anything like that. But just my rough assessment. I mean, it's pretty rare to have something on the track that's going to be 100% someone's fault.
Sure as hell does, Chip.
I'm not even sure what that was.
Yeah, sorry, man. You said something, made me think of Ricky Bobby with the little kid. It was when you said that you can't really blame fault. Sure as hell does, Chip.
Was it Walker or was it Texas Ranger?
I don't remember. Which one was the little one?
I think that was Texas Ranger.
I think so, and I believe that was him that said it, and it had me dying.
Well, I would say now this works into the favor of the leaders' pit strategy. They might be able to stretch it now. I would say they should be able to stretch it now, I think, to the end of the race. And if another caution comes out, it'll be basically cemented at that point. They can make it so.
And it definitely helps Blake. I mean, once you kind of do this, it's kind of taking all that pit strategy out the window, right? Like, there is no more undercut. It's going to be who's the fastest on the track and can keep their tires the freshest.
Yeah, the only scenario I can see something still working out with pit strategy would be if someone isn't able to save enough and that's that's going to play. It came into play a few weeks ago. We were covering, unfortunately, Pocono. So there's a possibility there as the pace car goes off. Blake goes early that time, real early.
And that's why he's been so good at these restarts. He is hard to predict when he's going to take off during those starts. And sometimes he goes early, sometimes he goes late, but he definitely doesn't let you time it.
Well, and the other thing about, going that early like that is a lot of the guys that are mid-pack and further back are still in the front, are still in the turn. Oh, he had contact there.
Great save by the 94, Greg Welland.
Yeah, that was a fantastic save. I thought for sure he was going around there, but yeah, when he restart early like that, you have guys that are still in the corner who are now having to lay down gas while they're still turning the wheel. They tend to spread the field out better. Oh, there's some tight racing around Ross Gate.
It looks like a car going around there in the back. I'm not showing on my timing and scoring.
Yeah, it was Tom Stevens. If you just want to rewind to it. But, yeah, it looks like he just, everything okay with your stream there?
Yeah, everything's great.
Oh, okay, it stopped for a second. I wasn't sure. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, it was a one car incident. Tom Stevens just looked like he just got a little loose and went around.
And here it is, coming through turn 3, heading into turn 4. He just gets sideways, slides up, guys avoiding him,
and you know what probably happened there is I'm going to assume that after that incident with Nick, he came in and pitted and took fresh tires and just wasn't prepared for the way the tires are driving.
Well, and Blake Gordon's on pit road right now.
Well, I thought they'd be able to make it. I knew it would be too late. This might be him trying to cement a green-white checkered here if it happens. But the rate that caution's been happening recently, there's a chance of that.
Well, and Blake only is going to drop back here to 9th. Brandon Burkhart came with him. Joe Dinsmore came with him. Blake Zede also came down pit road. Sean Carmody, Gary Winters, Ross Gage, Ed Springer, Kevin Haas, Nick Adams, who's now in the pits.
I wonder, because Justin Anderson stayed out and Joe Dinsmore came in. This is something I do swim for my teammates is there's a fuel strategy question. We'll split our strategies, so that, and I'm not saying if it's clear that we're not going to make it, no, we're not going to split strategy in that case. But if it's where it's getting really tight like this, there might be a green-white checker, there might not. One of us will pit, one of us will stay out, and we'll see which strategy plays out. But it's the best chance of getting one of our members of our team in, to the win, and that might be what Joe and Justin did here.
No offense, I feel like when it comes to you guys in CCR, it's your guys' fuel strategy is to wreck each other to bring out the caution, right? I mean, excuse me, that's super speedways only.
That is only super speedways, sir. And hey, I just want to point out, it's really easy to wreck your teammate on super speedways when you're only racing around your teammates when you guys are running.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So we got a new leader here. Justin Anderson will be taking over the lead, with followed by Andrew Burgess, Greg Wellen, Brian McFerrin, and Steve Dominy. Actually, I'm going to go through a few more of these because they're guys that have moved up quite a few positions. Timothy St. Jean is running in 6th. Derek Schilling running in 7th. And Kevin Moeller in 8th. And after that, we get to our guys in pit with Blake Gordon. But Kevin Moeller's up 16 spots right now. Derek Schilling's up 11. Steve Dominy's up 12. So, this pit strategy could work out well for them if they're able to make it to the end fuel.
Well, and it may work out for them because when you think about it, they will be a little bit different than everybody else because they've had some incidents. I mean, I think Derek Schilling at one point was 2 laps down. That's
a good point. They may have already had more fuel. Let's take a look here. I mean, Timothy St. Jean last pitted at lap 62. He should be good. Actually, lap 62, so he should be good. The other guys up front pitted at 55, so it's going to be tough for them.
And here we are. Pace car is off. Justin Anderson with a massive jump there on Andrew Burgess as they head into turn 1, but Andrew Burgess, he's going to be able to clear third place, Greg Wellen, and that's going to let him get down. But here comes the 26 of Steve Dominy already looking to the side of Greg Wellen.
Yeah, those guys are, we're getting close to the end of the race.
Whoa! And there goes Derek Schilling.
Caution is still not out.
No
I doubt it's
caution.
going to come out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to come out. Let's take a quick look. See what happened to Derek Schilling coming out of the corner here. He's Kevin Moeller. Ooh, that looks like a lot of net code.
That is unfortunate right there. And also had the toe to the pits, so his night will be over.
Yeah, I believe that may have been a lot of net code right there.
Oh my goodness, the cars are Blake. He has to panic at this point with all these guys around him racing wheels.
Absolutely, Blake already has moved up to the 6th position, but coming right behind him, Joe Dinsmore He's trying to stay, married to that tail of Blake Gordon. But Sean Carter, he's falling right behind Joe Dinsmore.
This is a situation I've been in before. In the TNT series, I've, for instance, gone in and pitted with Josh Laston. And we'll come out together, we're going to try to go through the field. And then I lose track of it. He didn't get the traffic better than I can. And, sure, I might end up in second place, but he's got such a gap on me
Joe
that I can break.
Massive run.
Yeah, Blake got checked up there a little bit by Steve Dominic, who just lane selection is how it worked out. So, but Blake able to retain his position for now. Oh, Joe just had to check up big time.
Well, and right there, when it comes with Steve Dominic, although Blake may be the faster driver, that's for position you don't expect him to just lay over.
No, absolutely not. And this is something I've said before. Sometimes it makes sense to lay over, battle for position, because you may be trying to race for points. You have to race your own race. You can't try to focus so much on finishing in one position. But in this case, you let Blake Gordon by, you're letting a lot of other guys by too. So I don't fault him at all for fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. Blake Gordon, he's now country third place driver, and Greg Long, he's going to be inside. As Blake is clear in, he ran a 39.9 his last lap, as opposed to Andrew Burgess and Justin Anderson running a 31.39 and a 31.40, so he's almost a half a second faster than this guy.
Yeah, I mean, tires making a difference. They are going to level out at some point, but I think Blake will be around them before that happens.
Well, as we always say, it's one thing to catch somebody, it's another to pass them.
Well, I would agree with you on that if they were pairs. I think, personally, I think this is going to be pretty easy for Blake. We'll have to see if it actually turns out to be.
Here we go. We got 24 laps to go. We're getting ready to go to 23 laps to go. Your leader is still Justin Anderson. Andrew Burgess right now running in second. And Blake Gordon worked his way from ninth in the field on that restart. And he's now up to third and catching your leader.
We got someone going around. Caution is out.
Who do you got?
It is not showing anybody in the rec screen, so I'm going to have to look at it manually. I think it was right around Steve Dominic, so maybe Timothy St. P? Nope.
About the 86.
It might be the 86. No, it was not the 86. I'm just going through clicking on people now until maybe Brian McFerrin.
Potentially the 83?
Yep, it's the 15 of Brian McFerrin.
What happened to Brian McFerrin?
Don't know why it didn't show up in our event log for that.
It has been happening a lot here lately. It's been very odd. All right, yeah, here we go. Oh, he's gonna get tagged here. We're gonna go to the chopper. Get ready to head into turn one. That's the 66 of Gary Winters. He just comes in, gets him into the back end of him, and puts him up into the wall there.
Hey, check this out. Our guys that were up front pitted, but so did Blake Gordon. Most of the field is pitted at this point. I'm going to guess
Winters
that
did not.
Yeah, but I'm going to guess that Blake should have been good on fuel. I'm going to guess it's
well, Blake destroyed everybody coming off pits right there. I believe Blake may have just gotten just fuel.
There's no. We'll ask him after the race in the top three, but I do not believe he needed fuel. I think he may have done right side only. And it looks like Greg Wellen may be in the same boat, and Brandon Burnham has done that as well.
Now we got another call that the sim is too loud. So let's just the sim sound. So you guys get to see me play with the sim sounds here. Johnny, let me know if that works better, man. All right. This has been a fun night.
Yep. Yeah, been kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
I've got to get this desktop fixed.
No doubt.
I can't be doing this.
So I'm looking at Gary Winters here. He pitted last at lap 67. Based on my fuel estimate, if my fuel estimates are accurate, he should be able to make it on fuel. But tires are a different story. He was significantly slower than he was at the start of the run. These guys behind him are going to be on fresh tires, so I imagine he's going to start dropping very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Gary Winters there, and then just behind him, you got Blake Gordon, Greg Welland, and Justin Anderson. So Blake and Justin Anderson here are going to be on that high side line. The question's going to be, can Justin Anderson time this restart with Blake and stay on Blake's rear bumper and follow him around these guys, and then put the pressure on Blake to try to make a move here?
Look, you can't count out Greg Welland either. But I mean, Justin's going to be on 4 fresh tires here. Look, there's no way that Blake's on 4 tires. He either did fuel only or he did right sides only. So he should be at a tire disadvantage now. Not significant because his left sides weren't that old. But Justin should have the tire advantage.
Well, we're about to find out. When we go green flag racing, it'll be 18 laps to go. Pace car is off. And the 66, Gary Winters gets a huge jump as he will lead him down into turn 1. But Blake Gordon, he's there on that outside. He is able to easily clear Greg Welland. As Greg Welland, he's going to put up a little bit of fight here against Justin Anderson in 73. As that's going to help Blake Gordon significantly.
Yeah, Blake is all over Gary's back bumper. He's going to get a big run coming on corner exit here. Had to check up a little bit, but yeah, this is not going to be a problem for him. Just tires. Sorry, in his case, 2 fresh tires, maybe.
But look who just followed him. Justin Anderson. With that door open, Justin Anderson made a massive move there on the inside. That's going to allow him to get around your second place driver, Gary Winters, but Ross Gage goes sliding down. I don't believe caution will come out. He is back on the track. As now we're still green, 17 laps to go, now 16 laps to go. But Blake Gordon opens up a little bit of a gap here, about a half a second over Justin Anderson.
Yeah, if this is a 4 fresh tire versus 2 fresh tire strategy called here and racing things done. I'm really excited to see which is going to win out because we know that Blake was faster prior to all of that. But if Justin has a tire advantage, I'm looking at lap times here. Blake was faster last lap. We'll see at this lap as I cross the line here. Justin was faster that lap, so I think Justin is going to be able to stay with him. Whether or not he'll be able to pass or not, I'm not too sure about that.
And Gary Winters staying out there, that's not helping his cause. He's dropping like a rock. He's back down to 6th, and he's got his hands full with Sean Carmody. And just behind him, he's got 2 more Endeavor Racing with Blake Ziti and Brandon Bernhardt.
Yeah, I don't fault Gary for trying to stay out. Like, sometimes you just gotta try something and see if it works. Because caution's out. Steve Dominy, William Quingill.
Steve Dominy comes through the corner here. He and Justin Moeller get together, but Steve Dominy comes up a little bit on the track there. That's going to collect. I didn't see exactly who that was. It might have been Ed Springer.
Yeah, so it looks like what happened there, what started that is Brandon Bernhardt was going a little bit slower on the outside, and that caused the 72 to check up. And then Steve Dominique got to the back of him.
And I believe, and I could be wrong, yeah, that was the 16 of Ed Sprint. It's odd not seeing Ed in a orange truck.
Yeah.
Kind of Ed, up, Ed. But
Ed talked me into that, and so did William Queenville.
Yeah, and there may have been some net code involved in there looking at it.
You talking about the original incident?
Yes. I don't see where those guys were really close enough. We'll look at it one more time. We'll do the.
Oh, there was contact. There was definitely contact. I think.
Yeah. Well, 12 laps to go. We'll be under.
And hey, I just want to point out there's some guys that just pitted just now. Of course, the guys who were in that incident, but there's some other guys that have pitted as well, and that could give them an advantage. I don't think 12 laps to go it's going to get them a race win or anything. They still have a lot of traffic to go through, but this could potentially gain them some positions with fresh tires out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And at this point right now, what does it hurt, right? You're kind of shooting your shot at this point. You're going to have just under 10 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. If you were to pit, the worst that you're going to fall back to is it looks like 15, 16 spot if you're on the lead lap. Stephen Dominique showing the first truck on the lead, or on one lap down. So you can get you, if you're, especially these guys that are running further in the back, if they get fresh tires now, they can maybe gain a couple spots than where they are there in that 15, 16 spot.
Yeah, and I mean, I guarantee you, David DeParis, the last of the ones that did not pit, he's probably feeling like a sitting duck right now, and right in front of him, Tim St. Jean, and Blake Seedy, Sean Carmody. I mean, those guys, might get overtaken by these guys that just pitted. There isn't a ton of potential for them getting that many positions. It's only 11 laps. We'll be at, I guess, probably 10 laps to go once we go back green. I don't think they're going to be able to get much out of it, but yeah, gain a few positions out of it.
You may gain a few. So here's the thought process on this, right? You're not going to be up there winning this race, but if you're running in, say, 12, and you and a couple cars in front of you stop and you get behind them, you may gain those spots back, and you may be faster than those guys in front of you. You may either A, get back to where you were, or B, you're at least going to be fresher tires than the guys in front of you is the thought process, right? So what are the guys behind you? How old are their tires? Do you know that? Were they faster than you? You know what I mean? So right. At the back of the field, it doesn't hurt to go get tires right now and gain that little bit of half a second that you may have on the guy in front of you.
Yeah, see what happens. It's certainly not going to hurt anything. And John Gordon in the comments saying, you got what you got. You aren't going to gain much at this point. You're not going to gain much. You're right. But I think, again, for the guys who didn't really have a lot to lose, and it's also a thing you got to think about from a defensive standpoint, too. Let's say, Nick Adams, the last guy in the lead lap, if he pits, then the guy in front of him don't want to be a sitting duck. So it kind of causes a chain reaction.
And here we go. 9 laps to go. Blake Gordon with another great jump as we see Joe Dinsmore. He's fighting here on the inside of the 77 to Andrew Burgess. And Joe may try to grab 2 for 1 here. If he stays to the side, Andrew Burgess fighting back there on that outside. But Joe's going to drive it in hard and try to get up under Greg Willen as well coming in turn 3.
Yeah, Joe's looking pretty strong right now. I don't know that he's not enough time to get back up to our leaders, but we'll see. I mean, he's getting through very quickly right now. If he can complete this pass, we'll see if he has anything for these guys.
And he's right there on the inside. He's going to complete that pass on Greg Lone. Andrew Burgess looks to follow suit. So now Joe Dinsmore, he can set his sights here on his teammate Justin Anderson. He's right now in second. trying to chase down our leader, Blake Gordon, and he's right behind Blake.
Yep, this is the 4-tire advantage, I would think, here. And Joe's also on that 4-tire strategy. But, I mean, we've seen all throughout this race, Blake's just been so much faster. So, I mean, again, his left side tires would not have been that old. So, if he did take right sides, I mean, I think he's not going to be that much slower. And we're seeing here, he's building up a little bit of a gap here between him and Justin Anderson.
Yeah, in that last lap, he ran a 39.9. Justin Anderson ran a 31.11, and Joe Dinsmore ran a 31.10. So Blake, like you said, I don't think those, if he did take right sides only, those left sides wasn't worn down that much, and he's showing it right now, running comparable times, if not faster, than second and third.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking at the beginning of that restart there, Justin might have had something for him, but it is not looking like that's the case right now. It is looking like this is Blake's race to lose.
We got 5 laps remaining here. Blake Gordon continues to open up a small gap here. It's right now just over half a second, and he is pulling away. He's or at least trying to pull away from second and third, as he is definitely faster than Justin Anderson, but Joe Dinsmore running again more times there, running the exact same time at 31.15. So now Joe Dinsmore catching the 73 of Justin Anderson.
Something I want to tell you about that I love seeing right now, that is picking out Blake seating ahead of his teammate. And those guys are, from what I understand, friends in real life. So I imagine right now, to be fair, Blake doesn't run in front of Sean a whole lot. So I imagine if Blake's able to finish this race ahead of Sean, then I think there might be a little bit of trash talking there. It's a lot like how Chris Oliver and I, friends, and a little bit of trash talking to be able to finish ahead of the other.
But who has the better hairline between you and Chris Oliver?
Well, I don't try to cover mine up.
Hey, so we got 3 laps to go. Blake right now, he's got a second gap. Well, close to a second gap here on Justin Anderson. And he looks to be coasting here. He's running about the same lap times as second and third. This right now is showing to be Blake's race to go with 2 to go.
Oh, I think Sean got around Blake.
Hey, dude.
But that hurts. I like Sean, but I was cheering for the underdog a little bit.
And
well, yeah.
Joe Dinsmore, he's caught his teammate, Justin Anderson. He's going to be all over him here. He's going to try to take the second away from him.
Yeah, Joe has... I wonder if Joe should have taken 2 tires last time. Coulda, shoulda, but I do wonder that if he could have started up there with Blake, perhaps this would have, turned out differently. It does seem like at least in the long run, Blake is faster than Justin. But this is Blake's race unless he makes a mistake in these last 2 corners.
Absolutely. Joe Dinsmore, he's there on the inside. He's fighting with Justin Anderson. But Blake, he's coming out of turn 4. Blake Gordon's going to win here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And Joe Dinsmore's going to edge out Justin Anderson for second.
There might be a little bit of trash talking there, too. Teammates there as well. And, man, Joe just barely got that. That was 2/100ths of a second right there.
Blake Gordon with just a dominating race here tonight.
Yeah, that was incredible to watch. It really didn't seem like throughout the race there was much competition for him.
And we'll see Blake burn it to the ground here. That's a pretty nice whip around right there. I don't know why about that. Carl, you could learn something from that.
Well, so even if I learn something, I don't get to practice it. So, I can learn it, and then by the time I win again,
oh, look at that! That was perfect.
Is he trying to draw us a message?
Maybe.
It certainly looked like he drew something, but maybe that's just in my head.
I think it's just in your head. Your winner, Blake Gordon, here tonight. Let's go ahead and pull Blake into the booth. Hey, Blake, it's Larry and Carl in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Sure do, fellas. What's going on?
I got to know, are you about to do, I thought you were about to do a burnout down the entire pit road. Hey, man, that was a dominating win from you there, man. How did it feel tonight?
Pretty good. Practice the other night, I knew I was fast. New Hampshire is one of those tracks that when I talk about tracks that I really like, I kind of forget about. Usually I'd say like Martinsville, Richmond, God, I can't remember the others, but like New Hampshire is like a sleeper. You know, I usually do pretty well here. I like the way it drives. It's pretty unique. One of the only tracks like it on the schedule. So I like coming here, you know, long flat corners, a lot of throttle control, and the setup tonight was on point. So it was a lot of fun to drive.
Well, so I've got to ask you, because I mean, you listen to my broadcast, you know I'm a little obsessed with pit strategy. I want to ask you about your last pit there at lap 79. You know, we don't get the data here as to what you actually did. We just have time. So I want to know, it's clear you didn't take 4 tires, I don't believe. Did you take right sides only, or did you do fuel only there?
The last stop was gas and 2 tires.
Okay.
The stop before that was gas and I think 4.
That-
Our fuel number, I think it was right. I think it was 33. So as soon as we got to like lap 67, 70, I'm like, I want to pit because I want to know I'm going to be good to the finish in case this goes green. And then whenever the sorry, I'm listening to race chat here. It's getting kind of spicy. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm seeing it here in the chat.
Ooh, I like spicy.
Hang on. Stand by. Oh, it didn't work. All right, anyway, so yeah, the last stop, when we got back on sequence, I took 2 so I could come out in front of Justin and everyone else who pit. And then it was just Gary Winters up there who we had to get by. But yeah, it was a fun race. Not often to go to a track and like flat out feel like the fastest guy, but that was the case tonight. The start of the race I was a little upset about. Getting the pole and not having it out of turn 2, and they wrecked on the start. So I'm trying to go back and look at what happened between Justin and I there, because obviously I'm going to race him hard, but I'm going to try not to run into him. And I think for the first time we actually kind of touched tonight. So trying to go back and check that out.
Yeah, I think after that, it was after that caution you guys had a little bit of contact, and it pushed him up into the wall. To me, it looked like a racing incident. I didn't think either of you guys were at fault for that or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It looks like I think he thought I was turning in lower and sooner than I did, and he kind of just turned in right on my right rear. So yeah, that's just a racing incident. That's no harm, no foul there on any of us. But I think he got in the wall. I don't know how bad that hurt him the rest of that run until he could pit. But yeah, it was a fun race tonight. A couple things I guess we got to go back and look at. We've been requested to have a formal review of racing incidents, so it'll be a fun week for the admins, I guess.
Absolutely, man. Well, we won't keep you too long. It was awesome watching you race, and we look forward to admin tomorrow night for the TNT, and then seeing you on Sunday.
Should be a good time tomorrow. I think Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll catch you guys then.
Have a good one, Blake.
You too,
Thanks,
guys.
Blake.
Thanks. See ya.
Well, and with that, looks like we get to talk to somebody, man, we haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Hey, Joe, it's Larry and Carl in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
Man, I don't feel like I've been able to talk to you post-race in a good while, man. It's great to have you back here.
Good to feel like I got some speed back in the sim, so hopefully it'll be more of a opportunity to talk to you guys a little bit more often.
Well, you definitely showed the speed out there, man. You look good out there. How'd that race feel tonight?
Bad. Outside of the, we did have quite a few cautions tonight, so it didn't really play into some of the longer runs that I would have liked to see. But yeah, I mean, when we were racing, the racing was, up front was solid. Was, people were, keeping their lines pretty straight and keeping them pretty well respectful. Jess and I, man.
So, Joe, I got to ask you, you're talking about running up near the front again. we know that you had some issues, I think, with your pedals. Does that seem like it's been taken care of at this point?
Yep. Pressure sensor for the pneumatic pressure sensor for my hydraulic pedals, that seems to be all taken care of. My trail braking into the corners is back to where it should be and where it felt. So, so I think it's all pretty ironed out.
So one thing I want to ask you is, with pit strategy, we know that that last pit stop there, guys like Blake and Greg Wellen took 2 tires, and I believe you and Justin took 4 tires. Was there any consideration there to go 2 tires on that stop for you?
Zero interest in taking 2 tires. Coming up through, granted, I didn't have track position to take Blake. I was pretty equal to him when it came to some of the longer runs, especially with him taking the 2 tires. Justin and I were turning better on the center of the corners with the people that didn't take the 2 tires, for the folks that I did go by coming through the field.
Yeah, man, it was a phenomenal race. In the long run, if you guys would have had more green flag races, we know you're normally really strong on green flag runs, man. You think you had anything for Blake?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I had something for Blake tonight, and if he disagrees, I'm sorry.
Well, that's the racer in everybody, right?
Yeah. Well, the math doesn't lie if you go back and watch.
Fair enough. Joe, it was awesome race, man. And we definitely hope to catch you more, at least, maybe a Sunday. See you Sunday, huh?
Yeah. I was pretty strong on Sunday. Just bad luck. Gotta make a mistake coming out of the pits.
Yeah, well, I would expect, we're going to be at Nashville Speedway this Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing you run up front again with your fixed equipment, and continue to see you run well here in the Truck Series.
Yeah, thanks. I want to thank Justin for racing me as hard as he did and clean, and it's always fun racing with him every week and then week out, and my team SHR and iFlag Racing, they're one of our sponsors, and all the other folks that work with me.
Absolutely, man. Well, good luck to you Sunday, and we hope to talk to you again.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks for everybody and for listening in, and Carl and Larry for doing this.
Well, have a good one,
Thanks,
Joe.
Joe.
All right. Let's pull up the results from tonight's race. If I don't die first. And it's funny things. Hey, your winner tonight, Blake Gordon, followed by Joe Dinsmore in second. And third, Justin Anderson. Fourth, Greg Wellen. Fifth, Sean Carmody. Sixth, Andrew Burgess. And seventh, Gary Winters. And eighth, Blake Ziti. Ninth, Brandon Bernhardt. And in 10th, Brian McFerrin.
In 11th, we have Timothy St. Jean. 12th, Kevin Moeller. 13th, Ben Haas. 14th, David Paris. 15th, Nick Adams. 16th, Ross Gay. 17th, Steve Dominic. 18th, Ed Springer. 19th, William Cleanbill. And in 20th, Tom Stevens.
And rounding out your top 20 or your 25 is going to be Derek Schilling in 21st, John Gordon in 22nd, 23rd, Brian Tiffany, 24th, Randy Pepper, and Mike Burgess in 25th. Hey, man, there was some good racing here tonight. A lot that we could take positive from tonight.
Yeah, as long as we were on the green flag, it looked great. We honestly had some of the runs were longer than I was expecting them to be tonight. This is a tricky track. But overall, some really good positive things came out of this race tonight, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And for everybody out there, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not Eastern Time. We're going to be on the call, myself, hopefully a special guest for the TNT series from Atlanta. Correct?
Atlanta.
Yeah. Hotlanta. So that should be a really good race. Friday night, we've got the podcast. Be advised, we are still doing Spotify. We're just having some slight issues One, between my equipment issues, and two, just some other issues that's going on. We will get those resolved, and we will get those uploaded to Spotify. So if you don't listen to us on Spotify, check us out here, YouTube, or Twitch. We stream to all three live, and then it does record. So check them out. As well as on Sunday, the Cup guys will be back, and that will be from where, Carl?
That is me at Nashville Super Speedway.
There you go. And we'll have to see if CCR will be able to continue to win some of these Cup races here, as Josh Hanner should hopefully be racing, possibly, maybe not. We'll find out.
He wasn't so sure. So
we're not sure. We'll find out.
Yeah, I think we'll find out at the same time.
Absolutely. And then Tuesday night, catch the IVRL, man. That stuff's getting spicy and heated, and it's been a lot of fun to watch that. It's been a lot of fun to read the comments in the chats too. So make sure you guys catch it all here from Ghostfire Media. Good racing tonight, a lot of fun, man. Carl, you got anything else for the group?
Nope, that's it for me.
Perfect. From everybody here at Ghostfire Media, we appreciate you guys coming out, supporting, and if you guys haven't liked the page, man, like this videos and share them, man. Grow the page, and we hope to catch you all here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, for the TNT Guitar Addict series from AOLL. We hope you all have a wonderful the rest of your evening.